All righty. Well, it looks like everybody has their audio connected, and it is 11 o'clock on the dot, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Thank you for joining us this morning for the TWC AEL Fall Institute presenter webinar. I'm Laura Greer, and I have Krista Mosier here as well. We're going to help with some things on the back end, and our presenter this morning is Beth Ponder. So Beth, I'm going to go ahead and pass the mic. Take it away.
All right. Thank you, Laura. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us. I'm Beth Ponder, Director of Professional Development here at TCAL. I just want to turn my camera on for just a minute to say hello, and then I'm going to go ahead and turn it off for bandwidth purposes. So this is a real informal presentation, just an opportunity for you to ask questions and for us to just go over the logistics of how the Fall Institute is going to run. So I will get us started. So just kind of a reminder of what's happening. The Fall Institute will be held at the Sheraton Austin Hotel at the Capitol. I hope you have all gotten your rooms because our room block is full. We will have, as of yesterday, you could still get on the site and get a state rate room just by going through the main website for the hotel. But hopefully you've gotten a room already. September 19th will be our pre-conference day. And that pre-conferences will be in person only. And then September 20th through the 22nd will be the actual conference with all the breakout sessions that you all are presenting. And that part will be hybrid. So you will have participants that are in the room and you will have participants that are online. And we'll talk about a little bit about how that works and what that's going to look like for you as a presenter. And I did go ahead and put the registration link there if you haven't already registered. And that's also where you can see all the sessions and who's presenting. So how does this hybrid thing work? So the platform that the virtual participants will be using is Zoom. So they will go into the vFair app, and vFair is the company that we've used to put together the conference this year. And they will join via the app. We will have Creative Cannon, who is our videographer team, who will be streaming your presentation through the Zoom room. And we'll talk a little bit more about exactly what that looks like. When you get to your room, the Zoom room will already be opened for you. And what we are going to do is turn off the chat and participant pods so they won't be seen on the screen as we're projecting in the room. So just an idea of what kind of support you're going to have as you're presenting. Each session has 3 people assigned to it. One is the host, and that is somebody who's not going to be in the room. They're going to be off-site. They'll take care of all the Zoom room things. They'll open up the rooms. They'll take care of any tech support, so you don't have to worry about any of that. You will have a co-host that will be in the training room. They'll be logged into Zoom, and they will have a handheld mic, and they'll kind of let you know with the raise of the hand when there's questions that are coming up in the chat. We do want to be engaging with our virtual participants as well as the participants that are in the room. So the co-host is going to take care of all of that. And then you will also have a room facilitator, and that person will be there in person. They will have the stickers, the PD stickers, they will have the evaluations, and they will also have a handheld mic. Because we are streaming the presentation, we do want questions to be in a mic. So the room facilitator will be the one that will grab that mic and get questions from any of the participants that are there in person. Also, I've tried to set up the schedule so that either Krista Mosier or I are not assigned to something during each block of time, so that there is somebody who's available if you need assistance. So here on the screen, you have our cell phone numbers. So one of us should be available to assist if you need something. We will also have, obviously, tech support from the hotel, which has been very good. This person we've worked with in the past at a different hotel, so they've been pretty responsive. So I think we'll have good support from the hotel. I did have a question, and you may or may not know at this point if people are going to need breakout rooms. And what I think about that, what I'm going to do is later this afternoon when the recording is ready, or maybe Tuesday morning, I'm going to send out a follow-up email to all the presenters with the link to the recording. So if somebody wasn't able to attend, they can watch this recording, or if you need to run back through it for something, and I'll ask you about breakout rooms. So I can kind of give my hosts a heads up that somebody might be needing a breakout room. So if you're planning like a small group activity with your face-to-face participants, we may want to use a breakout room for your virtual participants. So just keep that in mind, and I'll do a follow-up on that. So we have a recommendation that, oops, went too far, that you have a buddy. And that buddy might be somebody who's with you at the conference. It might be a colleague that's still back at the local program, but somebody who can log into Zoom via vFair and be in the room for you to do things like upload links to something that you're referencing, or to upload handouts. So you may have physical handouts that you're giving to the participants in the room, and you want to upload it into the chat within Zoom. So just think about that. It might be nice to have a buddy. The buddy can be in the room if you want. They just need to make sure they're muted so we don't get any feedback. And just as a note, most of you turned in your PowerPoints some time ago. And what we've done is send those out to a third-party vendor to have them turned into accessible PDFs. And so what I will do is upload the PDF of your PowerPoint to vFairs. So all of the virtual participants will have access to that. So what do you need to do as a presenter? You need to come with your presentation on a thumb drive, and we will have all the equipment for you. We will have a laptop set up. So all you have to do is plug in your thumb drive and pull up your laptop that you'll share into the Zoom room. We will also have a clicker for you, so don't need to worry about that. This next point is really, really important. We are asking you to please start and end your presentation on time. And this is going to be crucial to making this work because we've only got 15 minutes between sessions. So we're going to have to get sessions wrapped up, move on to the next room, get the new presenter in, and set up and ready to go in 15 minutes. So I'll be going around, and I'm going to be tough on this one. We're really going to have to be able to start and end on time. Because we are streaming and we've got participants virtual, please use your microphone. I already mentioned that you had a runner in your room that will have a handheld mic to get questions from participants in the room. But if somebody shouts out and we don't get there in time, try and think about repeating the question so that the participants that are in Zoom hear the question before you answer it. You will have a lavalier available to you, so you're not stuck to the podium. As again, you've got a clicker, you'll have a lavalier so you can move around. And just a note, don't forget your virtual participants. It's presenting in this hybrid fashion is, a little different. And so we just need to remember we've got the people in the room and we've got the people online. And so just a few tips thinking about that, presenting in that kind of hybrid format. Think about how you can engage the in-people and virtual participants both. So like if you have an activity or a poll, you might use a tool. We're suggesting you use a tool outside of Zoom that both the in-person and virtual participants can engage with. So rather than doing a poll in Zoom, maybe I do a poll via Mentimeter or Slido. So, the participants in the room can get on their phone and participate, and then those that are in the virtual space can as well. And a great tip is to provide some wait time after an activity or when you have a question stop. So this allows the room monitor and the host who's online to gather questions from both the participants in the room and the participants that are in chat and trying to type out their questions. So one of the things, it's like, oh, they're streaming. That means what? That you're going to be on camera. So I invited some of the staff from Creative Canon who are doing the videotaping for us, the videographers, to join us to talk a little bit about what does that look like for you as the presenter to be on camera and to give us a few tips. So who have I got? I've got David and Gio from Creative Canon. Why don't you guys take it away?
Thanks, Deb. Yesterday, one of the questions that popped up, and I figured we'd just talk about real quick, was what if we want to move around in the room? The speaker wants to move around. That's absolutely fine. Just keep in mind that there's going to be two projectors, two screens on either side of you, left and right. So there will be two cameras, one in the back of the room and one in the midpoint. So if you do move around, try and be cognizant that you will be moving in front of a projector. So we try to not confuse the camera. So try and not stand in front of it, or the camera will have issues. The other thing is to, of course, speak into the microphone. You'll have a lav, and there'll also be some stick mics. So jewelry is an issue. If you have a lot of loose jewelry like bracelets or necklaces, try to avoid those just because they will cause a rubbing issue with the microphone. The other thing is we try to advise people to wear solid colors, no whites, no blacks, jewel tones, navy suits are better. If you have an issue, you don't know what to wear, we also recommend that you bring a backup outfit, and you can talk to any of the guys that are wearing a Creative Canon shirt, and we can advise you on which one to go with. Yeah, try and stay with some nice solid colors. Patterns and stripes are not good. They also confuse the camera, and you might see some strange pattern on your shirt, which would look strange and distracting to the viewer. And then the last thing, at the very beginning of the cast, you'll see one of us in the back of the room giving you a countdown, and we'll go up and give you that heads up before we do start. Let you know, hey, we're about 5 minutes out, 3 minutes, 2 minutes, 1 minute. And at that point, we'll be in the back of the room, giving you a, hey, 1 minute countdown, 30 seconds, and let's go to 10 seconds, 5 seconds, and then 1, and you're on. So that lets you be ready for those people that are watching at home. The switch will turn on, and that's about it. It's pretty easy. We'll make sure that you're comfortable with the microphone, make sure that you look good. You just do your thing, and we'll take care of the rest.
And I think there was some questions yesterday about presenter mode in PowerPoint. And so that workaround, yes, you will be able to see your notes. I believe Beth Ponder also recommends you print out your slides with your presenter notes. But essentially what will happen is your laptop will connect through an HDMI cord to us, and the screens on either side will act as a secondary screen. We will move the presentation over to that for the in-person, and that way you as a presenter will only see your presenter notes, and the audience will just see the PowerPoint itself.
And David, can you address, we had someone yesterday have some concerns about using a mic that someone else had used. Can you kind of speak to kind of the sanitation procedures we've got in place?
Yes, ma'am. We practice some safe standards. So we'll wipe down every microphone. Everybody should feel safe. We sanitize everything that we have a presenter go up and touch, from the podium to the computer to the microphone. So that's I know that's a concern for a lot of people, and of course it is for us, so we want to make sure that everybody feels comfortable. I think that Beth, you even mentioned that there's some face masks. If you want to wear your face mask, I think there's some that you, Beth, will provide that will allow us and the audience to see your mouth, and it would not cause any issues with the microphone. Those have been used, and the microphone again allows the audience to hear you clearly. So again, we take that very serious and make sure that we wiped everything down, keep it nice and clean for everybody.
Thank you, David. And we are also, we've already ordered, I believe Deb has ordered some additional hand sanitizers for everyone, masks for everyone, and then I'll bring some of those presenter masks that have the plastic so that you can see your mouth if somebody wants to use one of those. One other suggestion I would have is, because you're using a lavalier, you need to have something to clip it to. So think about that when you're choosing your outfit. If you have slacks, then you can put it in the waistband or a belt or something to hang the little battery piece of the lavalier to. Jeb, do you want to model one of the masks?
Well, I was just going to say, for those people that might not have ever seen these, it's a mask, but it has a clear, thing on it. So you just wear it like a regular mask, and the people in the room can see my husband thinks it's hilarious, but safety is safety, right? But anyway, this is what it looks like. So you could either do this, or we've ordered N95 masks. And I can't find one right now, but they're black and they're N95. So we're, like David said, we're taking this very, very seriously and want to make sure everybody is protected and healthy. But we'll bring some of these.
Yeah, we'll bring some. So if you decide you want to try it, you're welcome to. So that's kind of what we had as far as kind of the slideshow. So at this point, we want to open it up for questions, any questions you might have as a presenter or a participant. And the Creative Canon team is still on. So if you have something specific to the streaming, that they're happy to pop back on and answer any of those questions. So anybody? Feel free to type, or you can unmute. Do you mention a place to see how many are signed up for each presentation? That's a good question. And what we told the group yesterday, we did this session yesterday, so we had some folks there as well, is what we'll do is closer to time, we will go ahead, and Deb, I don't know if we had a timeline on that, but we can pull that from the back end.
Yeah, I could do that probably this afternoon or on Tuesday. We can give it to you, next week, and give you at least a general amount.
Yeah, we don't
Yeah.
know for sure. Some
Okay.
people are registered but haven't gone and actually picked their sessions yet. So it's going to be a ballpark number, but we are happy to pull that for you. And I think, Deb, if we can we split it up? Who's in person and who's virtual?
Yeah.
I mean, the numbers. Yeah.
Yeah. I
Okay.
can do that. Well, I say I can do that. I haven't tried, but I think I can.
We will do what we can, Liz.
Yeah, exactly.
Can you post the registration link in the chat? I'm screen sharing. Can you grab that, Laura or Krista, and put that in the chat for us?
I can do that right now.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
So we'll pull those numbers together for you and get them out. Thank you, Laura.
Yep.
Other questions?
Have all of you registered? Good. Thanks, Jackie. Marie, Kelly, good. Thank you.
Angie.
I know who your boss is.
Okay, so again, we'll follow up with two things that we've promised you. We'll follow up with a link to a YouTube with the recording of this webinar. And then we will also follow up with who we know at this moment is registered for your particular session or has chosen that one and added it to their agenda. I know a couple of people came in a little late. So again, this went really fast. We did over half an hour yesterday, but it went pretty fast this morning, but we will share a link to the recording so you can see everything. Creative Cannon or Deb, do you have anything you want to add?
Well, I was going to do what I did yesterday, but I've been with so many screens open. I
Come
don't
on,
know.
Deb.
Oh, wait a minute. No, I got one for you. Hold on.
Cameron, listen to this.
Did you know? Let me put it in the chat. Hold on just a moment, please. Here it comes. Did you know that Domino's in Japan trained reindeer to deliver their pizzas? That and many more cute trivia ideas you'll see at the conference.
Dad, we won't see you.
Yeah, I'm gonna miss you guys. Have fun though.
That's awesome. Happy long weekend, everybody.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much, everyone, for participating. I'll keep the room open for just a couple more minutes in case someone has another question that comes up. But again, feel free to reach out via email if something comes up or you have any kind of questions or concerns. And again, thank you for being willing to present. And we appreciate it. Glenda, did you have a question?
I got an email from Anson. He's not going to be able to make it, and Denise is going to sub for him. Is that going to be a problem with y'all?
No.
So I'll change it.
Yeah, it's probably too late for the program book,
Yeah.
but I can get it changed in VFairs today. So Denise Guckert's going to fill in for Anson.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
How y'all doing?
Good. How are you doing?
A little crazy, but we're good.
That's exactly it. A little crazy, but I'm good.
Exactly.
Liz, did you have a question?
I do. I didn't want to take up everyone's time. So I'm pretty certain I know the answer with the handouts. I'm responsible for printing my own handouts, correct?
That is correct.
Okay, so we'll wait to see what a ballpark is. I don't know if it's 100 or 5.
Yeah.
So, okay, I'll wait for that. And then do you recommend a printout of like, we're using a Jamboard and we're using one of those Post-it note boards. Should that be printed
Padlet.
out for the
Padlet.
people in the audience, or the code, the Q, what do you call that? The QRC code?
Yeah, if you've got the QR code, I
Yeah.
think if you just put it up, have it in your PowerPoint.
That's okay.
Yeah, I think that's okay. And that's also where your buddy can come in. So the buddy can put it into the chat for the participants that are in the virtual room.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's actually 2 of us presenting. I don't know, we might buddy each other while the other is talking, or maybe we'll.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
that's
okay.
perfectly acceptable. If you want to have a laptop there with, that's a shared space and one of you's in kind of paying
Yeah.
attention while the other one's presenting and you switch, that's perfect.
Okay. Thanks for that feedback. I appreciate your time.
Sure. Anybody else?
Hey Deb, this is Ann again. I do have another question. This is about transcription or subtitles or whatever that accessibility piece might be. Is that built into the system? Do you have to turn them on?
You do have to turn it on. It's not automatic.
Okay.
That's a good question that maybe the team should talk about is, do we want to just automatically turn it on in every session and then people can hide it if they don't want to see it? So
Okay.
that's a good question. And let us talk about that.
Okay,
Because normally what you do is the person who needs it will put in the chat, I need transcription turned on, host will turn it on. And then if somebody doesn't want to see it, there's a way to hide it. But maybe we need to default to on, I don't know.
great. Okay, yeah, we had we had to resolve that too with whatever the software we used last time too. We had to do it through Google.
Yeah, well, it's built into Zoom, so we should
Yeah.
have access to it, but we might need to double check with Hamza on that one too.
Okay, gosh, great. All my questions are answered after 2 sessions.
And you know where to find us.
I know where to find you. Exactly. Yeah.
Thanks, Glenda. Thank you, Ann. You asked good questions. That's a good one for us to think about.